getting all this footage and they're going to maybe use it for something. Again, it's hard speaking from the perspective of like, I know how the live feeds work. I've always known how they work. But I think they should have someone talk these house guests through it before they go in. If you're going to cast people who have no idea what the show is, they have no idea about the show, they've never seen a season, I think there should be a little bit of accountability on production. Granted, if Kelly knew live feeds were on 24/7, I don't think her behavior changes at all. An ounce. This is who she is, right? Same with Mickey, same with Morgan, same with everyone. So, like, I don't think it's the biggest deal, but I think people clowning on people for not understanding, I think production should fix that somewhat. Or they should cast more superfans and less recruits. Ooh, classic debate incoming. But, I think the anti-recruit stuff is, like, a little bit overplayed. A lot of recruits are good. It's just, I wish there was a way to make recruits do a little bit of homework. Now, can we get a little bit positive? This season's pretty awesome. Like, what's the criticism towards this season? The cast sucks gameplay-wise? Is that the biggest complaint? Shit, compared to other seasons, I feel like that's a pretty minor one. A lot of your favorite players are probably recruits. Not me, but I also gravitate towards a certain archetype. But yeah, a lot of them are great. But I just think BB27 has been such a hit. Every week has been something. Last week was a kind of dry week, but it was a very interesting week as it was going on. It ended up being dry by Thursday, but like, I'm surprised Survivor has gone to the Superfan and BB cast more recruits. I'm actually not surprised. I feel like Survivor has always been going for that vibe a little bit more, whereas Big Brother is like the hot model summer show, Realistically, how does Rachel get to the final two without Keanu? The good thing is her side is incredibly bad at competitions. Ava, Will, Ashley, Mickey if she's there. Morgan seems okay, but she doesn't seem like a comp beast by any means. Basically, Rachel gets to the final 5 or 4 and then wins out, which isn't that hard from the final 4 or 5. But I don't think people are going to take her to the end. You got to watch Survivor Australia vs. the World. I'm getting the updates from my mom. So, I know where the game stands now, at least. But I don't think I'm going to watch it. Do we think it ends for sure this week? Yes. If it doesn't, that's insane. That I'd riot, which is code for I would do nothing, but that would be crazy. Rachel's 100% getting voted out at 3 or 4 if she doesn't win a comp. Maybe, but like she could win that comp very easily. Final 4 is a quiz and then some mental veto. Like, she's a great shot there. Final 3, whoever she's up against, it's not going to be Vince. Keanu won't be there, probably. Like, I think she'll just have a chance, Survivor vs. the World is the best series I've seen ever. I know people love it. It's hard for me to take it seriously just because it's 12 days long, but I have heard really good things. Keanu panicking and regretting his decisions. He has not had a good HOH. I think it's hard to imagine a great HOH. I just think he should have targeted Rachel's side. Put up 3 of them except Rachel. I think that's the play. I think that's what Vince should have done. I think that's always been the play for these kinds of people, and they just don't do them. And it's this Judges Alliance. Credit to Will and Ashley for making it. It reined Vince in. Keanu with frenemies has been reined in his own way. Like, this, in a weird way, Rachel's side basically being Rachel, Ashley, Will, maybe throwing Morgan there on a week-to-week basis. They're very effective at getting what they want. Even Ashley being put on the block, like, they kind of already fucked up the nominations. Ashley should be good. Things can change, but frenemies is done for sure. Here's the thing. We saw the frenemies being done for sure 2 weeks ago, and then Keanu wins HOH, and they're back for a couple days. We were all on the frenemies trade, and then it's gone again. Nothing's permanent with those two. Thank you, Ry Tierney. Ridierne. However you pronounce it. Please let me know. Ashley, Vince, who is Morgan voting out? I think Morgan's keeping Vince. I think that's less interesting. I think Ava's the more interesting vote there. She's calling him dumb, and she's mad as hell. this was happening a couple weeks ago too. Like, you got it right? Hell yeah. Problem is I did two pronunciations, so I don't know which one's right. Vince is now fully out with the judges, more or less. He made a terrible move last week. Yeah. No, I'm critical of Vince's game, I think, more than Keanu's this week. Vince is a lot better than Keanu, but I think Vince's HOH was pretty crazy to me. It's like, dude, he just had to target Rachel. I don't know what he was doing. Imagine this week if he had targeted Rachel. I know it's hindsight bias because who could have thought Keanu would win HOH, but Keanu, Kelly, and Lauren are probably the three best competitors in the house. Morgan's probably right behind them, and she's also with you. Ryan Tierney. Gotcha. What's up, Ryan? Vince is an emotional, manipulating mastermind. It's bad, but it worked. I think mastermind and Vince should not be in the same sentence, but he is emotionally manipulative, which is good in the context of Big Brother, but I think it's just diminishing returns. Like, at this point, I don't think his shtick works as well as it has in the past. God, Schleek locking the sexism. I can honestly say I never dissed. Ashley's a frustrating player to root for because she's been good for a while, but like she always just like flips a switch sometimes, and we're like, whoa, Ashley, what are you doing? But since the sides have been very established, she's been able to play like a simpler game, and she's been so fun to watch. Ashley's been one of my favorites, kind of consistently. After those first 2 weeks where I was like, okay, Ashley has no idea what she's doing, she's like stabilized in a very impressive way, I think. Hit on Mastermind, he's had 30 years of practice. I like that he started at 4, by your estimation. I believe it. My one friend joined our draft late, and Ashley went undrafted, so she has a team of 1, and she still might win. I find it difficult for Ashley to win the game, because again, I think she's just not respected very much, but same thing as Will. Like, very few people are respected, so, you know, she could win against one of them. And she could always get Will's vote, she could get Rachel's vote, she can get Mickey's vote maybe, but Mickey definitely looks down on her. She can get votes. You can get a few of them. How is my draft going? Who do I have? Let me pull it up. Because me and America did a draft at the start of the season. Let me look. Let's see. BB27 draft. Here it is. All right, let's see. Okay, so none of us have Rachel because this was done before the game started, so we didn't know Rachel was a confirmed like person on the cast. Go away. Okay. So America has Lauren, Keanu, Mickey, Kelly, Ava. And I have Ashley, Vince, Morgan, and Will. I think I like my draft more, right? I think my draft's better. Your team was ass. I mean, your team, I feel like we knew your team was ass as you picked it. Because Amy was a mess in the preseason. Ava seemed insane in the preseason. Riley, no one wanted. Adrian seemed insane in the preseason. And, you know, I thought your best picks, like Lauren I liked, Mickey I liked. Hope you lose, Vince. You could win this. I mean, Ava and Kelly just seem like... No, Ava, Kelly, and Mickey are cooked. I really think you're all in on Lauren and Keanu. I think Lauren is by far your best bet. You doing fantasy football this year? I gotta find a league. I should reach out to some Big Brother people. I just noticed you in the corner. Get away. Ava's making it to final 2? You think? I don't know, maybe. But I think I like my draft more. I just think Will is going to be there for a while. I think Morgan's got win equity for sure. Vince is tough, but I like Ashley too. Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Ren Davis, thank you for the 14 months. Ren, I see you in all these comment sections. You're going off. NFL starts this week. We are so back. I'm very excited. I am pumped. I love immersing myself in sports. It's so safe there. There's no weirdos. Well, there are a lot of weirdos, but I don't care about the sports weirdos. I hate those wires. Okay. It was better on the stool, to be honest. LDD. 3 months in advance. I hate when you guys do that. It puts so much pressure on me. I got to stream for the next 3 months. Yikes. But I'll do it. A lot of the bingo card happened too. Yeah, the bingo card, honestly, kind of a flop this year. I'll be honest. Kind of my fault. Thoughts on the Hugmance? I think it'd be hypocritical for me to start speculating on people's relationships. But in general, people who are being weird need to stop. Especially towards people who didn't sign up to be on the show. Especially to them. Just in general, though. Stop being weird and trying to make other people's life worse. I thought Taylor had a really, really good statement where she basically asked questions for questions to ask, I think, Catherine in her exit interview. And she came out and was like, y'all are out here for blood. That is not the purpose of these interviews. Like, what is wrong with you guys, basically? Which I think was a really good, succinct way of kind of encapsulating some of the problems with all fandoms, but especially Big Brother. Just like, if you're invested to the point where, like, you just want these house guests to get exposed and the interviewers to grill them, and it's just like, if you're deriving like that much fulfillment from that, it's probably a problem. People really want gotcha interviews. I fucking hate it. It's also like a weird power dynamic where like the interviewer knows everything that happened and the interviewee knows nothing. And I just felt really bad for Kat. And I don't like a lot of the things Kat said about Rachel, frankly. Like that, there's a lot of it that I thought crossed a lot of lines. I don't support her and Riley's relationship. I thought that was very weird, but she's well within her rights to pursue anyone she wants. But the way Julie framed the question in her exit interview, being like, a lot of us had the impression that Riley liked you a lot more than you liked Riley. Is that true? Was extremely frustrating because it basically like made Catherine defend herself and be like, yeah, no, I actually did like Riley. Because I think the implication there is Riley's a fan favorite and I already answered that, Maddie. I'm not talking about that. I think people need to stop being weird, including you in this little spot. Cory, you played Zero Escape? Yes, I have, Joseph, and congratulations. Best pre-juror of all time. We debated it a bit at the start, but in general, I've talked about your game a lot. I think you know where I stand. I will say, easily you'd be the best strategic player on BB27. That wouldn't be close. Wild crossover. No, I love Zero Escape. I just replayed a Zero Time Dilemma. You're just a guy? No. That's Joseph Rodriguez. My man. Because that also applies to Joseph Rodriguez. You can't gaslight me, Joseph. I know it's you. I thought the house was primed for a fight, but looks like everyone is low energy. Yeah, Ava's napping, guys. So it's rough. Guys, see how good that second episode of Glee was on the rewatch? So funny. I was kind of skeptical of watching Glee because there's just like so many episodes, so many seasons. It's so funny. I think we'll stop when it gets bad, though. Like, I'm not trying to watch eight seasons of Glee. I wish the Big Brother editors need to show us somewhat of a realistic POV of what Riley was really like towards Catherine. Yes, but we don't expect that. Like, they haven't done that in 20 years. They're not going to start doing it now. Like, their priority is always going to be protecting themselves and the show to not get in trouble from their superiors. That's how everyone works. They're just trying to not get in trouble from their bosses. So, like, it's not excusing that behavior. It's the reality of the situation. On our season, our AFP was Cameron. Matt was top 3. Like, this is just how it works. Jeff Schroeder. Like, we have enough data at this point, which I think is one of my new sayings. We have enough data at this point. But we do. I saw a picture of Twitter of Rachel Berry in the Black Student Union Club. Rachel is so funny. Any final thoughts before I bid you all adieu to eat my cold tacos? America should have been America's favorite. She's my top 5 favorite BBUS players, and I can't understand why that's not everyone's feelings. I think it's hard to have that perspective just watching the show because the edit just wasn't there. But I think so many people online were able to, I don't know, personify with, but just like root for America because, first of all, unique archetype, but second, just like, I think she's extremely relatable to the fan base in a way that very few people are. But that's not going to translate to the episodes, unfortunately. But thanks for the kind words. Any compliment towards America is a compliment towards me as well. Were you a fan of America? It was definitely a slow burn. Yes, I was a fan of America. I was a fan of America. I mean, was I as big of a fan of America as Jared? I mean, that was my guy. That was my final 2, but America was pretty cool too. If Suri was not on, America would have been even more popular on socials. There would have been more of a united front rooting for America, for sure. I think we'd have less haters to this day if Suri was not on the season. Also, let me talk about something. I saw a single comment on Reddit. Don't ask how I saw it. Questions like that are outlawed. About me being like anti-Suri. I'm really not anti-Suri at all. I feel like I talk pretty glowingly about her game and everything. Maybe I'm a little bit negative when I'm like defending Bowie Jane specifically. But when I say Suri's had like 10 casts before us, it's not to say like, oh my god, she doesn't appreciate her Big Brother experience. It's like, yeah, if you do fucking 15 reality shows, obviously it's not going to feel like it's your first. And you're not going to treat that cast like it's their first. Like, that just makes sense, right? So that's the only thing. Like, I have literally no beef with Suri at all, right? And even if I did, Suri doesn't have any beef. Like, she's off on her 3rd show in a year. Like, she's busy. No one's talking about Suri on Big Brother anymore. She's on bigger and better things. So I just want to clear. I don't like discussion being out there of me not like if I don't like someone, go ahead and talk about it. There's a lot of people who I don't like. Suri's not one of them. Even Jared's not one of them. Like, it's fine. I've got beef with a lot of people. Just make sure, if you're talking about me having beef with people, make sure it's those people. I think that I'm going to say that's ban-worthy, but that is admittedly a funny comment. Let's look through your messages, actually. All right, so I'm going to let you guys into my decision making. So Ramon, I want you to defend yourself here. So what he said was, Suri will obliterate you, white boy. Ban-worthy or no? I'm on the fence because it is a funny comment. It's not that serious. It's obviously quite toxic. Ban. We're going to do a poll. I'll let a poll decide. Ban Ramon, question mark? Yes or no, okay? Because I really could go either way on this one. Timeout? No, this is a either they're free to walk the streets of Twitch or they're going in the hole. No. Oh, wait. Okay, they said no. All right, Ramon, you live to see another day. You live to see another day. Now we're going to do a should I VIP Ramon poll. What did Johnny Moe do? I'm sure they deserved it. It's fine. What was the crime? Ramon for AFB. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been called white boy. Ramon flipped the vote. It was impressive. No, it's like, look, give them as tens. 72% said no. Now, mods, your job is to track down the people who voted no because we got to ban all of them. No ops in chat. Absolutely not. Cory fans are so wholesome. I wouldn't go that far. I like a lot of our fans, but whoa. Wholesome? I don't know about that. Would you guys say you're wholesome? I got shooters. You got 51 of them somehow. I kind of wish a lot of the people who are like rooting for Suri and that side over me in America could just take the W that Suri lasted longer than us. Like, yeah, we got rid of her structure and some of her allies and stuff, but like, at the end of the day, if it's a Suri versus Cory, you could definitely argue she just won. She plays better. Just take the W, you know? Like, Quinions are wholesome. Quinions are quite wholesome. That's why I can never be one. That's why I could never be one. I don't belong. I have too much of an edge to me. You know what I mean? Suri did a great job of getting her own allies, too. You have to understand, though, like, the reason that's the case is because everyone was her allies. Like, who could she have targeted that weren't her allies? I guess Cameron, but they were allies. Cameron was obsessed with her. Would never target her. Like, I don't know. I think that's... I agree, but, you know, she had a lot of allies. I guess America was, like, the one person who was not. I still laugh at the RHAP folks who thought Quinn was acting for cameras on PB26. I thought that was so weird because that just told me that some of these people didn't watch the feeds because he was very consistent. Quinn is Quinn. Who would Suri put up if she got first or second HOH? Wow. What a question. What a question. So glad you asked it. Where do I begin? Week 1, I'm probably cooked. Me and Kirsten, maybe. Jacob's alt. And then week 2, obviously I wouldn't go up. Week 2 is probably, I don't know, America and like, I don't know. It's kind of hard. Maybe blue. Maybe America and blue, which would be kind of funny. You think Jared has your back week 1? Nominations were on day 3. Like at that point, there was nothing. Maybe by the end of the week, but I think you could still do your stream idea of going through Terran's BB25 updates. So here's the thing. I think it would do okay viewership-wise. It would just be so sad. Not in terms of the context of the game. It would just be so sad that I'm streaming myself listening to updates from 2 years ago. Like, I would feel bad for myself. Have you talked to Izzy since 25? Yeah. I texted her recently. Starting law school. She sent me a nice, how's law school text. We chatted back and forth. What do you think is the furthest you in America could go in placement 25? We could have gotten first and second if comps were different, but if you're saying, like, what's the best it could have been, yeah, we could have gotten first and second. There was a path. There's a narrow path, but yeah. You know, Jag goes out at the final 9. All of a sudden, every comp is up for grabs. America gets invisible HOH. Like, I don't know. There's always a world in Big Brother, unless you're truly terrible. Brittany did a BB12 rewatch in 2025. That's different. In 15 years, we could have this conversation if I'm still around. But I don't think it would be a very cool thing for me to do right now. No, we voted him out, Katie. We did that. And they legit have feeds on Ava napping. I'm looking at it right now. Cool glasses. Prettium ranked Jag 24 or 5. Who was 5? Was it Dick? I would have Jag like 21, 20. You have to understand, Jag's like, he's a very likable dude. He's very good socially. Add that to just being really good at comps. That's a really like high floor. The strategic game is a mixed bag, but There's a lot of winners who have very mixed bag strategic games. Do you think having comps like this season would have made a difference? Of course, yeah. Everything would be different, but I think a lot of those things would have helped like Matt out a lot. Suri, maybe me, but maybe not. I love Brendan's chat BCC post. I mean, look, he's just a great husband. That's exactly what you should do as a husband. Something to watch. Watch the Unknown Number doc on Netflix. It's crazy. Sure, I don't even know what it's about. Not every winner can be as strategic as Josh, exactly. Don't look into it going blind. Okay. I'm down. Where would you rate Rachel's BB13? I think right above Dick. Is it 13 was just a wonky season. I think her winning was one of my favorite winners. A very satisfying win. Like, I'm sorry, like Portia winning would have been lame as hell. I like Portia, and maybe you could argue she had a better game. Maybe I don't even know if I would think that, but I think Rachel was the right winner there. Burning question: who wins in a final two, America or Felicia? America. Yeah, America gets me, gets Cameron for sure. Suri, I think, even votes America. At that point, Jags obviously a vote for America. Maybe Matt goes Felicia, but I think Blue leans America over Felicia. It's Bowie's obviously America too, so she locks in 4 with Jag, Cameron, me, and Bowie. But could she get more than that? Maybe. I think Blue's up for grabs, Suri's up for grabs, Matt's probably not. But again, how do we get there? What's the path to that final two? I don't know. America versus Bowie is a lot tougher. But then she could get Suri and Felicia. Suri, Felicia, me, Blue. She still wins. I think that's America's path. America versus Blue, I think, is the one where she is in a lot of trouble. Because then she loses Cameron and Matt. And Suri and Felicia. Like, that's not winnable, I don't think. All Bowie had to do is take out one of Jag or Matt in the second double. It's kind of hard to then envision how Matt gets evicted. I don't know. Maybe. Yes, that's what she should have done. But I think you could argue like that helps a lot of other people more than Bowie. Maybe Bowie's drawing dead at that point, but against Felicia, she could win. Maybe. Anyways, sorry, we're lost in the sauce. Cam votes Blue, 100%. Yeah, I think so. Anywho, I'm gonna get offline. Thanks guys for hanging out. A quick hour. I'll be live once or twice this week. Trying to be live when I can. It's easier with Big Brother because I don't have to prep anything. But been fun hanging out. I got